All right, everyone, listen up. We're about to cover a topic that is absolutely fundamental to your role here. This isn't just another training module. What we're about to discuss is at the very core of our commitment to safety and quality.
So, before you even think about touching a single piece of equipment on this floor, I have a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. What is our single most important job?
It's this. It's making sure that what we produce is safe and effective. And I mean every single time. No exceptions, no good enoughs. This right here, this is the bedrock of everything we do. And that leads us directly to our number one non-negotiable standard, patient protection. Let me be crystal clear about this. Every single thing we're going to talk about today, every procedure, every check, every data point, it all comes back to this one vital principle. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the specific technical challenge that you are responsible for managing. The big problem we're here to solve is what we call inconsistent particle size distribution. So what exactly is particle size distribution, or PSD as we call it? Well, think of it as the specific recipe of different particle sizes within a powder. The goal isn't to make every particle the exact same size. The goal is to make sure that the mix of those sizes, the distribution, is precisely the same from one batch to the next. Consistency is everything. And look, don't just take my word for it. This comes straight from our own quality standards. Inconsistent PSD is flagged as one of the most critical issues in our entire manufacturing process. It's a root cause of problems that we absolutely have to control. Period. So, where does this inconsistency even come from? Well, it can start before the materials even get to our door, with variability in the raw materials. But it can also be introduced right here on our watch. Things like improper milling, particles clumping together, or even just a change in the room's humidity. You are our first line of defense against every single one of these potential failures. Now, let's talk about why this is such a big deal. We'll start with risk number one, which is and always will be the most important factor, patient safety. This slide really lays it all out. When PSD is consistent, the active ingredient is absorbed by the body predictably. It just works as intended. But when it's inconsistent, well, absorption becomes a dangerous wild card. The dose could be too strong and cause harm, or it could be too weak and be completely useless. This isn't some small quality issue. It's a direct threat of patient harm. Now, beyond the immediate risk to patients, there's a second major risk we have to talk about: regulatory compliance. And make no mistake, getting this wrong puts this entire facility and every single job in it at risk. So, how many failed batches do you think it takes to trigger a full-blown regulatory review? Just one. That's it. One single batch is all it takes. You see, this isn't just our internal rule. It's a direct regulatory mandate. The quote on the screen is clear. Inconsistent PSD can cause us to fail GMP or FDA standards. And that means batch rejections, shutdowns, product recalls, and a complete loss of public trust. We will not let that happen. So how do we prevent this? This brings us to your mandate, preventive controls. Your responsibility centers on two specific actions. These are not optional, they are a mandatory part of your role, starting right now. First, you will implement in-process particle size analysis. This means using tools like laser diffraction to monitor PSD in real time, during production, not after it's too late. Second, you will use statistical process control, or SPC. That's just a way of saying you will actively watch the data trends from batch to batch so you can catch any deviation the moment it starts to happen. This table right here summarizes your core responsibilities. For analysis, you're implementing real-time testing. For monitoring, you're using SPC to watch those trends. For observation, you need to be trained to spot the physical signs of a problem, like poor powder flow. And finally, documentation. You will record every single corrective action in our standard operating procedures. This is how we ensure safety, and this is how we ensure reproducibility. And this all brings me back to where we started. Upholding this standard is not just a requirement of your job. It's our promise to every single patient who relies on our products. So I'll ask you one last time. Are you ready to uphold the standard?